Evans through the middle. Artie up for three.
Kia ora te whānau, no mai hoki mai, welcome back to Rugby Park here in Whakatane. Despite the weather warnings, the sun's out and it's go time here at the Whakatane Touch Tournament, January tournament for 2024, the first one on the Touch calendar for the new year. Happy New Year to all of you joining us from home. If you're within and around the Whakatane area, get down here to Rugby Park. We'll be here through till about 7 o'clock tonight. I'm Brad Pittman, joined in commentary by Tiv Guthrie. Tiv, a women's game up next between Freezing Hot and Legacy. Two teams here. I think you saw a little bit of Legacy earlier in the day, and Freezing Hot you'll be fairly familiar with from out South Auckland. It's going to be an exciting women's game. Yeah, it should be an exciting women's game. Legacy, as you mentioned, from the Waikato area, and they've got plenty of Touch Blacks experience and former Touch Blacks in their sub box. You know, you've got the likes of Holly Graham and Morgan Morrow that have been previous representatives of the Touch Blacks, and then you go to the current crop and you've got the likes of Ngāwai Hawera, as well as Marnie Shepherd, who usually plays but not on the team list today. And then on the Freezing Hot side, you've got plenty of those names that are familiar with South Auckland and the Freezing Hot brand. So I'm sure you'd hear a lot of Adams being mentioned out on the pitch, relatives of the Freezing Hot OG Brian Adams. So good to see him in the box, as well as Savannah Asafo-Tavita as well. Yeah, we're underway here. That is Freezing Hot in the blue, red and gold strip with first use, playing left to right. In the black and teal, it's Legacy defending at the moment. For those of you that have been following along all day, it's been sunny all day here in Whakatane. It's been beautiful weather, probably a little too hot, I'm saying, for some of the players. However, they're out here doing it. And good defensive pressure there shown by Legacy. Yeah, just going back to what you were saying about the weather, Brad, the players are probably doing it tough at the moment. At the moment, it is sort of 24 degrees, but it's not quite the stifling heat. It's the searing heat. You know, the type that burns the skin and gets the minds going to some dark places when you're out there on that pitch, as well as 60% humidity. So. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough for the players, especially heading into the afternoon. Yeah, that's it. I think that hole in the ozone we all complain about is right over Whakatane at the moment. It's got some burn in it at the moment, and yeah, such as is Freezing Hot. They're going to be hot out there today. They're working their transition now. A little bit back and forth there, but they get a roll on now. Freezing Hot. Shooter was offside, so they'll keep going here. And again, happy to keep the ball moving. Freezing Hot, there's the dive. And touch called. Yeah, they had a bit of ball movement, didn't they, Brad, through the middle third of the field, especially coming out of their transition. They crossed over halfway. It did look a little bit clunky, close to their box, but once they managed to spread the ball, they were really confident in their ball security and their ball movement, and they got a good strike off the back end, got a dive over the line, but a great touch made. So let's see if Legacy can match that, as Morrow finds a bit of purchase through the midfield. Yeah, it was a fractured line there from Freezing Hot. They were in all sorts of positions there. The shooter missed and almost made pay. Here come Legacy. Extra is on. They'll walk one in. It looks like it's Alicia Presley there on the sting for Legacy. They go up 1-0, 2.5 minutes through this women's game, and good start there for Legacy. They defended that that strike from Freezing Hot, and they go the full length of the field there in their transition. Well executed by the ladies from the Waikato.
Yeah, and it was a good identification there from Kaya Kepa out of dummy half, and then she passed it off to Morgan Morrow at link, and that's a really tough skill to be able to catch one way and then turn your body and throw that sort of 10-metre pass. It might only be 10 metres, but when you got your momentum, your body momentum going one way, and the pass then needs to go the opposite way, it's a really tough skill to master. So Morrow did that well there, and FREEZIN Hot have come up with an error close to the 7-metre line.
A little juggle there. She'll hang on to it. And Legacy get back into their work at the sub-box. That's a great bit of yardage there. Rolling onto it now. Zaid Sarah Baldwin. And they release. They get the extra. That one is Samantha Faulkner. They've opened up both sides here now, Legacy. The ability to go both ways. And it's the extra pass there. Great hands shown by Legacy early doors in this game. They're up 2-0. Look at the replay here. Looking right, swing back to the left. Yeah. And a draw and pass, does it? There's
Highland Potts there just popping out at dummy half. She's had a really good start to the year. She was quite strong for Waikato Tainui at the Māori Nationals in December. And it looks like she's carrying on that form. And then Yeremia with a nice little draw pass. So Legacy showing their wares pretty early in this game. They're up 2 tries with only 4 minutes gone. So FREEZIN Hot, they might just want to, I suppose, knuckle down and get stuck into their work as play through is the call. The referee,
offside that first one.
No.
Okay, no, he's flipped the coin another time.
I'll tell you what, give Morgan Morrow a sales job because she's managed to sway the referee there. Let's have a look on the One Foundation replay. See if we can peg what the call was for. And I think the touch was called, but a little bit controversial, we'll see.
No controversy when Morgan Morrow's involved. She'll take care of things. Plead her case and did it well enough there. So that one erased for FREEZIN Hot. Legacy working out now towards their sub box. Just overruns that one. And cool to see the club connections here. A couple of the Waitere boys in the coaching box and helping out, of course, the Legacy ladies.
Yeah, definitely. You can see Trey Poihipi, Chauncey Wahua as well. So some very experienced heads as we see Legacy manage to go through. Wardby skips away.
Yeah.
And she manages to dot down for Legacy. That's their third in the first 6 minutes. So they're going about a try every 2 minutes at the moment, a Legacy.
Yeah, and you said you went over and saw them on a break a little earlier in the day and looked pretty impressive in that game, showing it all here on the main stage now.
Yeah, and I think the most impressive thing is that it wasn't an easy game. You know, they were still playing a lock-in, who, as we saw in the first game, you know, they're a pretty impressive unit, the club team. So they played their women's team who are finding their feet somewhat, but still able to pull up a good fight. So it was, yeah, pretty impressive to see the way that Legacy went about their business in that game. As we see Asafo Tavita turns the ball back on the inside. I think that was to Liliana Asafo.
There we go, working again together there. There's the quick plant. And they'll get a 6 again. Call.
50-50 ones, aren't they, Brad? When you shoot up out of the line, you do get in the lane, but if you're not looking at the ball, there's that question mark over whether you do actually play at the ball or not. Referee adjudicated that they had played at it, Legacy. So FREEZIN Hot get a repeat set of 6 on the line. Long ball goes out to the left-hand side. Well defended, though, by Legacy.
Yeah, back towards the middle. Work FREEZIN Hot. They've got numbers on the left. The hands might have got them there. They opted to go long and no dice.
There's a couple of pretty impressive reads out there on the wing for Legacy as the ball goes short. And on the last,
repeat.
Just an offside, an offside call. And those 12-touch sets, eventually they take their toll, don't they, Brad?
Yeah, it'll be impressive if Legacy can turn away another full set here. from Freezing Hot. Freezing Hot need to score one back, down 3 at the moment, just to get themselves underway for this game. And we'll see what they've got here on the play. Again, a little bit disjointed in their attack at the moment, Freezing Hot. Everything going side to side. There they straighten up. Here's the strike.
Pop the ball over the top. Beautiful flick.
Yeah. Lovely pass, but Ford, the last one in the end.
That's that classic South Auckland razzle dazzle.
Yep.
That's that free flow style of play. As you see on the One Foundation replay, they did well. They had the sweep come around, but they ran the quickie and back to the short side, and then that one there, that was a beautiful flick, but unfortunately did drift forward. Legacy have come up with an error though, coming off their line, so Freezing Hot get the ball back, and again, it's another set of 6 on the line for them.
Yeah, Legacy being asked to do a lot of defence here after scoring their first 3 scores. And not rolling off. Another one here. Let's see, can Freezing Hot break through? Legacy defending well at the moment. Man, they cover well their middles.
And it's great identification from the links as well. You can see on their quickie plays that they really shoot their links up. And then they're able to chase out there as well.
Yep.
As you see, trying to get around the Legacy defense there. But this Legacy, yeah, they're not showing any signs of breaking, are they?
Nah, look, every time there's a switch play or there's a little kick out, they're still numbered up. And you're right, the connection between the middles and the links has been spot on. Even here, it's still 2-on-2. Excellent defense there. Again, Legacy turned them away.
Yeah, and Alicia Priestley, she's come up with about 3 or 4 great reads out on that wing in the last couple of sets. So really earning her salary, as we say, out on that right-hand wing.
Yeah, and showing that she's not just out there to put down tries either. She's defensive-minded as well. And here they work now through the middle. Yards on offer. Oh, just out in front there. Couldn't be taken in by Mihi Kerr.
Yeah, well, the shooter got called offside, didn't they? And so there was some room to move out on their right-hand side, but the ball just not going to hand. And so the turnover comes, and within a couple of touches, Freezing Hot should have been over the halfway line, but ball has been dropped. Legacy get the ball, and they've been caught subbing as well. So numbers temporarily out on the left-hand side, but managed to scramble well there, Freezing. Yeah,
solid scramble. It had to be done because it was about 4-on-2 down this side. They just couldn't get it clean, Legacy, but they'll set up now, working up towards the 7. They're just trying to figure out their shape here. There they go. All right, don't like the shape. See if they can manipulate this time.
Yeah, it was a great read there out on the wing from Joanne Adams. And it's always a tough one for wingers when there are those 3-on-2 overlaps. You've got to really pick your option in a split second. And Joanne Adams was able to do that and then does it again. You're right, Brad. Came out to the right-hand side for the Freezing Hot defence and was able to make the touch there on Holly Graham. Yeah,
we talk about a couple of wingers turning it on defensively. 2 in a row there from the Freezing Hot wing. And now they're trying to work towards their sub-box to get their transition, but it's messy at the moment. Roll the subs.
You just wonder, Brad, how much of a toll this heat is taking on the teams. Because as we mentioned, it is while it is only 24 degrees, there's about 60% humidity, and it is piercing hot. So, you know, when as I'm sure all touchies know, when the heat comes on and the fatigue comes through, that's when the brain starts to fade, and that's when the comms start to drop, and then the ears start to go, and so I think we're seeing a culmination of all of the above at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, when your processes aren't set in stone and locked in, and you're having a freestyle and ad-lib football, it becomes pretty tough when you're under fatigue like that. And that's, I think, where the difference between these two teams is at the moment. Legacy well drilled. They get through their process in this orange zone. Freezing Hot a little bit more freestyle, maybe that South Auckland style of just see what happens and we'll play off the back of it. All good and well when you got 1 or 2 module matches in a night, but it doesn't work here in Whakatane when you got 5 on the trot in the heat.
And we see that defensive breakdown as well from Freezing Hot. Morgan Morrow just managed to maneuver her body and get the Freezing Hot link defender sort of caught up in the roll ball. As we see on the One Foundation replay, she does this very, very well, able to maneuver her body. And then just that late footwork, wasn't it? Got on the outside of the Freezing Hot defender, forced the corner, and then just stepped off the right foot and dove over to grab Legacy's 4th. And in these 25-minute games, a 4-0 lead is like gold for Legacy.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And it's tough to answer back from 4 down, especially as the clock winds down, the sun's out, 12 minutes to go. It's going to be a tough mountain to climb now for Freezing Hot.
And it's that scoreboard pressure as well. So you think about all of those factors. As I think that's Kemara comes up with an error at the roll ball, just rucking off her line, just took her eye momentarily off the ball. And then the ball goes to ground as the scoop on the first goes through. Freezing Hot, they just need to find an extra number. Chased down by Wardby, touch and pass will be the call.
Yeah, great scramble there from Legacy. Lovely to see the breach there from Freezing Hot. Just the scoop off the dummy, but unable to link up in the end and covered up by the Legacy defenders. And here they come out of their own end.
And it was Tadil that scooped through. It was a pretty simple one in the end. Just dummied the quickie and went back to the short side. Touch was made there. Looking to get some purchase on the back end of the yards there was Mihi Kerr.
Yeah, she ran straight at the offside one and tried to use the shield to get through. A little touch from the onside player though. Into the middle of the field now.
Yeah, and just that pace, that intensity has sort of been sapped out of this game as Potts goes on the scoop. She's quick out of half. The ball goes out to Graham on the left. Great touch there out wide. That was Adams once again, Joanne Adams. And she saved a couple there for Freezing Hot now.
Yep. The score could look a fair bit different had not been for the work of Adams on the wing, although Legacy are going to have another crack at it here.
Yeah, that was just the pressure there from Highland Potts. Shot up out of the line and really forced the Freezing Hot era there, as we see Zaid Sarah Baldwin on the ball. Usually accustomed to seeing her in a Bullets outfit, playing for Legacy for this year's Whakatane tournament.
Yeah, jumped in the Waikato River and floated down down the stream.
All comes under Tainui though, as I've heard.
Yeah, and here come, miscoms in the end. I think she was caught offside there, the A defender. And Morrow showing all of her class here. She's been special on both sides of the ball for Legacy.
And I'll tell you what, you talk about the players that have made an impact in the first half of the 2023-2024 season. Morgan Morrow would probably be at the top of any selector's list. You know, she had a strong Fijian Cup campaign for Free Flow and then a strong campaign at Māori Nationals as well. And now she's backing it up for Whakatane for this Legacy side. And those 5 touchdowns that they've scored already are thanks in large part to her as a wayward pass. The floating ball comes out to the right-hand side. Can they finish? Joanne Adams, well, that's well-deserved for her.
It is. You couldn't pick a person that deserves it more on this Freezing Hot side than Joanne Adams. She's done a lot of defensive work, made some excellent reads in her defensive corner and puts the first one on there for Freezing Hot. Let's watch the One Foundation replay. A little bit of back and forth, and you're right, it was the Harbour Bridge ball. They got them there, this over the top. And the draw pass, simple in the end, the one-handed put down.
And the fact that it floated, I think, gave the rapper a little bit more time to get to the space. So, yeah, lovely ball there, going from left to right. Harder to do for most people, as I've been told by Dr. Shane Edwards. Around 70 to 75% of the world is right-handed. So part of that minority as the dive goes over now. That is Mihi Kerr, and just got on the outside through the quickie. It was a little bit too simple in the end, but I think the defensive toll probably, taking its toll.
Yeah, these ladies doing it tough out there at the moment. It is rather warm. As we see the replay here, like I said, it's a pretty simple little outplay there. Just got on the outside. The middle couldn't slide.
Just looking at that replay, they shaped to run a 33 peel, and so the middle safe defender was in tight, and then they faked the 33 peel and then fed the open side quickie, and that's what opened the space on the outside. As FREEZIN Hot go back to this rooster play, that 32 peel that they found success with for their first try of the afternoon, unable to grab their second, and the ball goes to ground.
Yeah, it was that same shape, and you mentioned the last one, that floater, that just gave them enough time. That one, a little bit more direct, and the wrap just couldn't get there.
Ooh, a bit of a, yeah, looked like a bit of a nasty one there for Sarah Baldwin.
Oh, a little bit of a rolled ankle. Yeah. He's off into the sub box. More legs come on for Legacy.
And this is better from Legacy, a little bit more direct, just going straight up the train tracks in the middle. And they've come away with a scoop out to the left-hand side. Holly Graham will end up getting the touchdown in the corner. Great scoop there from Kaya Kepa, and they looked really, really good when they went straight and direct and right through the middle.
Yeah, and it was two plays straight down the middle, as you said, drawing those middles in and just creating a little bit of space to isolate that link, and excellent finish in the end there by Holly Graham. As we see this replay, look at these two in a row. Straight up, middles having to get back, and there's the space between the middle and link.
And it's probably one of the simplest plays that you can teach anyone, Brad, is a simple 3-3 scoop and identify whether the corner is there or whether it's not. On that occasion it wasn't, and so she stepped to the outside and was able to slice through. And great play there from Legacy. They are up now 7 tries to 1. 6 minutes left, and FREEZIN Hot again come up with another error.
Yeah, and I'm sure both these teams will be eyeing up the ice bars after this, whether it's for recovery or just for sanity. At the moment, you can see some of the ladies have gone bootless now. They're trying to get any reprieve they can in the sub box. And out they come here, Legacy in transition.
And they're a little bit expansive coming through the middle third of the field.
That's gorgeous football. That's really smooth out of their transition. Probably not a real traditional style touch try, but just the back line got in sync and they found the space. And
that's it.
It was a lovely finish in the end by Legacy.
And you talked before about players that deserve tries. Priestley is one out on the wing, and I don't think I've seen her sub either. So as well as the defensive plays that she's put on, she scored 2 herself, hasn't subbed, and she's gone straight back out for defense. So yeah, amazing work there out wide by Priestley. Yeah,
and it's one of those things with the no half-time, no switch sides for the far side winger. Sometimes you do just get trapped out there, and if you can hack it and stay on there, you just keep putting in the yards, and she's done well out there. Priestley, second try, I think, for the afternoon. Here comes FREEZIN Hot, just running into dead ends everywhere they go. The dive.
I think that one more pass would have done it. They got their wires crossed in the middle. And then when the ball came out to the link, if there was just one more pass, Joanne Adams probably would have crossed untouched for a second, just unable to get that catch pass. Now they'll look to go through down the tram tracks again.
It's just yards on offer at the moment. Defenders unable to get back quick enough to defend.
There's a good defensive push there from FREEZIN. And she'll make another touch again. That's great work out there. And I think that was Maya Tubu. And then makes the last touch as well. So that's a great defensive effort. She started that set at left link. Yeah. She's ended up at right link, and she spent a bit of time in the middle as well. So
yeah, made 3 touches out of the 5. So
great effort.
Solid.
And I think we talked before as well, Brad, about those effort plays. You know, sometimes in a closer game, it may make all the difference. So they'll be probably looking to build on that. Will FREEZIN Hot?
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, sometimes individual players just have to stand up and put that extra in to perhaps inspire their team into something, and you're right, in those closer games it can be all the difference. This one, not so much, but that one will be touch called.
Yeah, it was part of the pun, but it was touch and go there. 50-50 call, goes the way of Freezin Hot.
Here come Legacy. The bounce out covered up there. Good work on defence by the middles of Freezin. Legacy will have another crack at it. Double unders. Oh, and they've made it work.
Legacy putting on a show now in the last couple of minutes. They went from left to right, back to the left again. And Holly Graham crosses over for another. But I'll tell you what, that was pretty unfortunate for the Freezin Hot defence, because Savannah Asafo in the #1 strip, she actually defended the play quite well.
Yeah.
And then it was just that short side shut from the link when it probably didn't need to come. As you can see on the One Foundation replay, she mans it up a couple of times. And then in that short amount of space, the link shuts and they get that 2-on-1 draw pass. And Holly Graham crosses over for Legacy's 9th of the afternoon, cruising to a victory here.
Yeah, as we close in the final 90 seconds or so of this one, it will be Legacy chalking up a win here out on the main stage. And as we eye forward to both open men's and women's semi-finals coming up a little later in the day. Obviously there's some other results on other fields that we have to take into consideration, but I dare say Legacy will look to feature in those semi-finals come crunch time. Yeah,
and you talk about the other fixtures that they are, you know, while we are live streaming the results on the main field, all the other results that happen around the fields, around Rugby Park and Rex Morpeth Park, they all play their part, you know, and any draws, any games where, you know, sort of 3 teams all beat each other, they all come into account. And in a high-stakes tournament like the Whakatane tournament, where only one top qualifier goes through to the semi-final, those results make all the difference. But Legacy with an 8-try differential coming into the closing stages of this one, that'll help them big time if there's any discrepancy. Yeah,
and I think as we hear the siren sound and last play called here for Legacy, they'll dot in their 10th, make it a perfect 10 performance. Legacy well happy with that one. And as I mentioned a little earlier, ladies will be looking for some shade after this one. Fantastic performance in the end by Legacy. Too good for Freezin Hot. 10-1 the difference in this open women's pool game. Tiv, you saw them earlier. They came out here and did it again. This Legacy team are not ones to be messed with.
No, definitely not. And they'll be coming for that title that has eluded them since they sort of burst onto the scene in 2020 under the Legacy banner. You know, they do have some seasoned campaigners that may have played under some other teams in the past, but you know, since uniting as Legacy a couple of years ago, they'll be looking for that title that is currently held by Bullets, who we saw in action earlier. So if the performances of those 2 teams, as well as teams like Playing Up, if those are anything to go by, then the women's semis and finals should be absolute belters.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's such an exciting weekend. Of course, we couldn't do it without the support of some fantastic sponsors. A special thank you to One Foundation, the Whakatane District Council and Whakatane Ohopi Community Board, our major sponsors for this weekend's tournament. And of course, joining them, Ake Chartered Accountants and Business Advisors, BTS, Better Together Sportswear, Iceman Whakatane, who will be doing a roaring trade this weekend, Underwood and Wilkins, and Whakatane High School. Thank you so much for your support. Awesome to see the 2 women's teams out there just finish up their match, Legacy and Freezin Hot. And hot it was, both the temperature and the game. Legacy too good in the end. Coming up shortly, it's an open men's game, Loaded against Playing Up, and our first look at the Playing Up men. As well as Loaded, our first look at that pool. Real exciting game. That 1 o'clock fixture is going to be a good one. We can see the Playing Up boys there warming up for it. Loaded as well. Following that, we'll have a little bit of a break, a lunch break for us, and then we'll be back with the 2:20 game between Galaxy and Astro. So 2 open men's games coming up to finish off our pool rounds. Look at Whakatane. Doesn't it look good? Coming into the afternoon, You mentioned, Tiv, a couple of semi-finals. We'll see number ones for both of them before we crack into our finals. By the much anticipated Old Boys 35s men's final at 440.
The highlight.
They've been playing down in the depths of Rex Morpeth this morning, finishing off, of course, with our open women's and open men's finals. But that's some of the action on the backfields at the moment. Look at it. It's busy up the top side where we are, but there's 15 more fields out there, out the back, including a couple of games going on over at the high school. Beautiful sight down here in Whakatane, and like you mentioned many times through the call, if you're in and around the area, get down here. Not only is there some touch action, but there's the kai vendors, you know, there's the ice creams, there's the barbecue, there's everything going on here at the moment. What better way to spend the first weekend of January than down here catching up with our touch community. Thank you for all of you who've joined us for that women's game. We'll be back shortly with our open men's game. I've been Brad Pittman, joined by Tiv Guthrie, and we'll see you then.
Been too long, leaves are gone, heading for the coastline. Light is it when I'm there, soaking in the sunshine. We walk for miles covered in smiles just for a while, taking the time we press rewind out on the aisles. Eyes wide as the sea, feels like our city. We walk for miles, counting the smiles just for a while, right out on the coastline.
If you can please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background here at Whakatane Touch Tournament.
Yeah, kia ora. My name is Shane Barton. I live in Whakatane. I'm from Whakatane, but I've actually resided to Brisbane. And I've been in Brisbane for over 14 years. Obviously played a lot of touch, been in this tournament many times back in the past, and yes, and then yeah, done a lot of work behind the scenes also with the touch, and retired now and enjoying it. Yes.
Well, it's awesome to see you back here supporting the tournament. Obviously we haven't been on for a couple of years, but as we were talking a little bit earlier, you look out at especially this drop-off, four-man drop-off. Isn't the game so fast, so exciting, so quick pace now?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And you know, these young ones are just getting quicker and quicker. You know, the stepping and the wrapping, the speed they do it at, you know, it's just unreal. Yes.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about your background in touch. From what I've heard, an absolute maestro on the touch field, certainly in your day. Tell us about your history at World Champs, international selections. Yeah. Talk to us through that.
Okay. I cracked the New Zealand team in '91. Played for the Bay of Plenty, Masters Bay of Plenty. Cracked the New Zealand Masters team in '91. We were beaten by Australia in the final. We had a good tourney actually, and I was very fortunate to be selected for the world side. They picked the world side after that tournament, so I'm very lucky, very lucky. But that's a compliment of the other players that were playing with me, of course. Yeah.
Well, we can hear some action in the background here at the drop-offs. Oh, so fantastic as part of that world side. What other countries were represented in that team?
Oh, there was Samoa, you know, all the island teams, England, very Cook Islands, you know, they were all there, Japan, they were all there back in the day.
Fantastic. Sounds like an awesome event. Now, like I said, we've got drop-offs tonight with the main tournament tomorrow here at Whakatane. What are you most looking forward to over the weekend?
Oh look, I'm just come here to reminisce, I guess, and watch these young ones play, and you know, they just make me tired looking at them. Honestly, they do, you know.
That's a fantastic weekend down here at Whakatane. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you for everything you've done for Touch in Whakatane and Touch in New Zealand. It's awesome to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Been too long, gun, heading for the coastline. We walk for miles, counting the smiles just for a while, right out on the coastline.